That's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
Dope.
That's dope.
Dope. That's
That's
dope.
dope.
That's dope.
That's
What's
dope.
up, everybody? No, you guys are really excited. Seem excited. You guys seem very excited. What is going on? It is Monday, January 10th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you are looking at my face for not the first, but the second time today. 2 times, better than one. We do that on Mondays and Wednesdays. It used to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but it's just too much, guys. Just absolutely too much. Hope all of you have been enjoying this moment of respite from pain and suffering. Good thing in life to do less of that, suffer less pain. Good thing. And yeah, so listen, I was going to do a whole bunch of charting and sharing charts and charting. But the reality is there's nothing to see, man. Nothing to see that I didn't share this morning on the Bitcoin chart, and everything else is going to be largely dependent upon Bitcoin. So what we're going to do today is AMA, Ask Me Anything. But first, if you don't know, I'm Scott Melker, the Wolf of Wall Streets. And before we get started, you have to subscribe to the channel and take your pen and drop it. Damn, that shit bounced hard. Directly on the like button. Directly on the like button. Directly on the like button. Do we suck again?
Oh, no. We suck again.
I don't think so. If you buy a VR device for your dog is just going to lactate like endlessly, just like spontaneous lactation, just like those cows that we talked about earlier. But guys, before we get started, let's talk about the most important thing we have today, and that is WhaleFin. Look, WhaleFin is a digital investing experience offering easy portfolio management tools, attractive investment yields. Oh, it's so hard to find. And access to the emerging digital lifestyle. Guys, if you haven't checked out WhaleFin, listen, I got it right here. Adam right here. Oh, now I'm trying to get it to focus on my face. There I am. WhaleFin. Guys, we used to talk about them as Amber Group. Amber Group created WhaleFin. Dude, this platform is incredible. It's incredible. You can do literally everything there. You trade there with and without leverage. You can earn yield. You can take a loan. You can basically do everything you can do at any bank or on any platform all in one single place. And they're like, this is not some like fly by night platform. They're insanely secure, you know, like started by Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs execs doing trillions in volume and with institutional grade security. But you can see here's all the things you can do. 0 fees when swapping tokens, intuitive trading controls, free automated investing tools. It's not just like park your money and earn yield. There's tons of options that you can use, no pun intended, with options and futures. Here you go. Instant interest upon deposit. Choose your preferred investment time frame. Pick from a variety of investment types. Borrow against your assets while they're earning a return. You can basically do everything here. Guys, click on the button right down below. It's right in the description. You click on it. First of all, that's just doing me a favor, right? You're going to look good if you click on it. You should definitely check them out. Really, really awesome. Really, really awesome platform. All right. So, yes, I use it myself. Okay, guys, let's go. Let's go. Mike is here. What we're doing today is an AMA. Ask me anything. Mike is here to choose your questions. So now let's do questions. After the candles push through a resistance line, you say, wait to bounce back to the line. Do you buy then or after it's higher than the breakthrough? I tend to, okay, that's an interesting question. Let me try to find an example. 1 second. I can give you the weekly chart. 1 second. The idea there, so listen, different traders take different approaches to breakouts, right? Pushing through resistance, that first move up, that's your breakout, right? There's a lot of people who are breakout traders and like to buy the instant that breaks out. Sometimes they'll even like, if your resistance is 42, they'll put in a limit order basically to buy, which you can structure on an exchange. It's like buy, 42,100 on the way up. That's a good strategy, but often that's when you get that wick that goes above and then the close down below, like a bullish SFP. It's a very easy way to get faked out to buy the breakout. So the safer thing to do is wait for a candle close above. Like here, there's a weekly chart. This is not going to happen, but you wait for the close above and then you bid support. It's a much safer way. It's a much better way to have confirmation of the trade. The risk is, though, that it just keeps going, right? So if you want to trade on the confirmation of the retest at support, then you have to be willing to miss it completely, right? You got to be willing to miss that completely. So here you go. Well, after the candles push through resistance line, you say, wait to bounce back to the line. Do you buy then or after it's higher than the breakthrough? Usually you buy it. And then you just got to, so like here, say you buy that, right? Now, listen, I spread orders out, right? So I'll put a couple above, one slight below, and then you got to find an area that you're comfortable with as a stop loss to invalidate. The risk there then, obviously, is that you get a wick down below and you get stopped out. It happens. There's no way to tell you that's not going to happen. That can happen, right? But in general, if you size your position correctly, give yourself a little room, those are very reliable trades and you will not lose much, right? That's the goal, is to lose as little as possible. All right, next question. Thoughts on ETC potential after ETH goes 2.0 POS, ETC being programmable layer 1. I don't think about ETC, honestly. I mean, I haven't even looked at the chart except for when people make me. So I haven't dug really that deep into this, to be quite honest, because it's not a coin that's on my radar. I've never taken it particularly seriously. But like Ethereum is, I mean, incredibly dominant, right? I mean, it's the most dominant layer 1. Now we have all of these other layer 1s that are competing. Ethereum Classic seems like a bit of an afterthought. I don't even know that chart, but yeah, I mean, this chart, it's at support here, but long way down if it loses this area, which, it's not a bullish looking chart at the moment. I don't know. I think that ETC is sort of a forgotten layer 1 and not particularly relevant at the moment for me. I'm sure there might be things I missed. I can't stay up with every project. That's not one I'm particularly interested in. Next question. Thoughts on Matic as a token? I love it. Guys, if you were like following me here or on the newsletter, like we were in Matic under like 5 cents, right? And that was on this round. We used to trade Matic on sats, but like, I can take a look at the chart if that's what we're talking about, right? Here's where I started talking about Matic. Right about here. No, way lower. Here. This was the Matic breakout, and I'm still holding the bulk of this position. I sold some at like 240 something, and some others on the way up. But like Matic was this crazy ranging chart through 2019, right? And so this entire area, maybe it was like here. It was the break of this. All of these, right? That's about 5 cents, right? Yeah, 4 or 5. So caught it, just a little bit after the breakout. But Matic had this huge, move back then, and then it just ranged for 10 months. Had it on the radar. Once it broke through that level, I bought. And there was never any point where it looked particularly bearish, right? Just kept going up, consolidating. And now, I mean, it still has made, even through all of this, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, potentially a higher low. I think a break of this blue line would give it more confidence, but generally it still looks really good. Still looks really good. Thoughts on VET as a product? The company I work for partnered with them on sustainability. Listen, I haven't dug so deep into VET again as of late, but I've been trading it literally since it was VEN, right? Remember that? Remember it used to be VEN, the coin? But I'm a huge fan of the project in general. It seems underpriced. They're one of the ones that have real world adoption. Like you said, major partnerships left and right, solving supply chain issues. I mean, I even went on Fox Business and talked about this coin. So I would say as one of the ones that you can reliably hold long-term, not worry about getting rug pulled or it going to zero, I would say that VET is a very impressive project. Sorry, Mike, I jumped you there and got that one. Best place to trade you don't really trade the DXY. it's what you would do. The best ways, I mean, it's up to each individual, but the best way to trade DXY probably is just to trade the Euro USD pair, right? I mean, the DXY is just a basket of competitive currencies, but the most heavily weighted is the Euro, right? So there, you trade, go on forex.com is where I always used to trade Forex and stuff. Yeah, choose a pair against USD and trade it that way. That's generally the best way to do that. Next. What do you think about scalping? Do you do it in the past? I've done it many times. I would argue that I've been doing it the last few days, although it's not like hour to hour. But for me, if I'm taking a trade that's closing within a day or two, I'm scalping. Right. And I think you have to be exceptionally good at it. I don't know. Bitcoin Banks, are you here? Banks, you in the building? You guys don't know Bitcoin Banks. Very highly underrated account. Here, put him up here. I don't know if he's here, but he was here. We were talking before, and he said he was going to be around on the stream. Dope trader, portfolio manager, equities, and he's very good friends with Cantor and Clark, Ryan. He was saying that Ryan was on some like beautiful mind shit with scalping. Like I don't do the like, and Nebraska and Gooner, these guys, they're like, aggressively scalping minute to minute charts. I used to do that. It just seems, I've always believed after growing up a bit, the more trades you take is like the more opportunities to lose. I mean, I'm showing you guys how I do it. You see my trades, right? And no matter, I mean, people will say I don't trade that often. But you've seen, I've taken 3 leveraged longs. I'm not like shorting is not something I do particularly often. I've taken 3 leverage longs in the last 5 months, and they've all been good because I choose the spots where I get that perfect thing that I want to see and I play it, right? That bullish divergence, oversold, whatever. And that's when I choose to take those. But unless you're exceptionally good, a complete robot, have 0 motion attached, scalping is just an opportunity for you to get wrecked. Yeah. Next. What 4 coins should I invest in for my kids if I plan not to touch them for 5 years? I can only give you 2. Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everything else is speculative. I love a lot of them. I'm invested in them, but everything else is speculation, in my opinion. Right? If you're talking about like a safe investment for your kids or whatever, those are the ones I would say are safe to do that. I mean, unpopular opinion, but I'd probably buy them some Amazon stock or something too, right? Doesn't have to just be in crypto, but I would say those, and then you can go out and take maybe you put 40% in Bitcoin, 40% in Ethereum, not financial advice, and then you split the other 3 coins 6.5% each, or 10, 5, 5. If you find things that you really like, but they've got to be things you believe in. Nobody else can tell you what those should be. What's up? Next. Scott, why are Bitcoin shorts USD pumping on Bitfinex? What's the logic behind it? Or is it just the sheeple being illogical? I don't know. 1 second, I'll take a look. Because I don't see that. So 1 second. I mean, I'll pull this up in a second, but I wasn't seeing that on it's not like we're massively going negative funding here. Like Coinalyze you can use for checking open interest funding rate. This is on Bitcoin. Generally, and everything's switching positive, even what was negative. I mean, people are still long, right? Longs are paying shorts. Longs are paying shorts right now. What was the question? Was Bitfinex longs? I don't see shorts piling up massively. I don't know. Oh, this is Bitfinex shorts. Yeah. Yeah, going up. I mean, you would expect that when a coin breaks support, we just broke 42K, right? It's a key support broken, been under it for a few days. That's when people would short. So I would imagine that would be the logic, that people start to short when you break support. I can't necessarily blame them. Who is next? Aped all into Flocky on the dip. What you think about Flocky, though? I don't. That's no offense to Flocky. It's just like, I mean, I've only have so much tolerance for like memes and dogs. Not really my thing. I am in Dogelon. Got a bunch of that just because I thought they were going to get listed, which they did. And I think they will more. But I don't know anything about Flocky. I haven't particularly taken it seriously. I stopped at like Doge, Shib, down the curve. But I will say it does seem that Flocky has a very, very passionate community. And maybe that will be enough to carry them through. But I don't know why. Like, you have to have a reason, I would imagine, for you to want to be all in Flocky. And I can tell you, maybe you'll find the bottom. Oh, man, I just stopped my screen sharing like a noob. Hold up. But, like, you can't look at this chart and be like, oh, yeah, killer asset. This retraced its entire price history. All of it. Not quite. I mean, you can get all the way down to here. Sure. But like, you're knife catching here, right? Admittedly. You have one main support on the chart. Right? This is it. This is all your demand. And that's just from launch. You retrace this entire pump. Everybody who made money on this, I don't care what they told you, who made real money, sold it back down. Sold it back down. It is what it is. I'm not saying it can't go back up. It certainly can. But whoever had a lot of it had to sell all of it back for this to happen. Right? Listen, SHIB looks like it could do this. I'm not saying it will. Like, SHIB is hanging there's this support. All these coins have this massive pump. If they lose the support, that last support, they're going to do likely what that did. Come all the way back down to the beginning, right? Doge, same thing. Here, how big Doge is. Chart is the chart. Doge lost the support. We're back into this full pump. You should be able to buy Doge at 8 cents. Nobody wants to hear it. I know, suboptimal. But that's my thought. It's my thought. What are your thoughts on Near? So I don't have any like particular fundamental thoughts on it. Another layer one, right? And that's not a bad thing. I will say the chart looks good. It has looked good, and that it found support. Mike and I are playing who's going to add my face first. Okay, Mike, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it, bro. Do it. Yeah, I mean, Near flipping, testing support successfully again. Anything above $13.23 looks good. I'd really want to start flipping $17.95, especially in this market. Chart looks generally good and seems to be a lot of bullish sentiment around it. So cool, great. Here you go. What do you think about DeFi projects? Any in particular? No, not any in particular, because I'm just not. No. I think that DeFi will continue to grow. And I think that the best way actually to invest in DeFi is to buy all these layer ones, right? It's all going to be built on there. Honestly, the best way to invest in DeFi is just to hold Ethereum. You won't capture as much of the upside, but if DeFi continues to be a thing, which it will, Ethereum will continue to rise as the core of DeFi. That's my opinion. Next question. Thoughts on Hather Network? I don't have any. Don't know the project that well. When moon? We are mooning, just reverse moon. We're doing the kind of moon where somebody takes out their butt and shows it to you. I don't know. I don't know when moon, but I just know that it's going to eventually happen. I know that it's eventually going to happen. So timing it and trying to figure out when it's going to happen is kind of a fool's errand. It doesn't matter. Okay, keep going. Did you ever play Pitchfork? You had to set at South by Southwest. I did not play at Pitchfork at South by Southwest, but I've played like 9, 10, 12 different shows at various South by Southwest events. Yeah, I played all over Austin. I played basically every South by Southwest for like 4 or 5 years. And then my daughter, my firstborn, the heiress to the throne of Melker. She was born on March 16th, 2015, and that was the end of me ever going to South by Southwest again. In fact, she was born. My daughter was born, and this was how bad I was at being in like the parenting mindset. Our whole like planning around her birth was whether I was going to make it to South by Southwest or not, because she was born on the 16th, and I had a show on the 19th, 18th or 19th, and her due date, Emmy's due date was the 16th. We were like, she'd have the baby in time for me to go get this money. I was playing a show with Future. I was opening for Future. And like I was doing a beat for him and all this stuff. And I made it. Baby came home. I was like, cool, baby's home. Got to go catch a flight. And I left. And then I was so miserable and depressed about it that I decided to wind down my DJ career. Yeah. What's next? Thoughts on Bob Saget? Sad. Really sad. Really sad. I grew up on Full House like everyone else, although that was a kind of a nerdy show. I was a little older. Hated Kimmy Granger. She was annoying. Stamos was cool. Candace Cameron Bure believes that the woman's role is to be in the kitchen and serving her husband. Kind of weird. But Bob Saget was a legend, man, and his humor was amazing. Like if you ever watched his stand-up, he was so dirty and so raw, like so the antithesis of his character on Full House. I have no idea why he died, but sad that he did. Next. Do you think it's possible to become a hedge fund manager or creating my own firm? Even though I come from nothing, and if given the opportunity, would you ever do it? No, I would never, ever. Well, I can't say never. People have presented me the opportunity, but not something I'm interested in. It's a complete different like level of responsibility to be responsible for other people's money. Right? I have no problem losing my own money. I sleep at night perfectly fine. I can be in a heavy leverage long. I go to bed. I wake up. It's fine. In fact, I fall asleep so fast. Emmy's like, you were snoring before I even turned the TV on. I'm like, whatever. I sleep great managing my own money. I would not sleep great, I don't think, managing someone else's. That said, sure, man. You can become a hedge fund manager if you find enough people with enough money who trust you to invest in your fund. That's the only way you can do it. Can't just do it. Gotta prove yourself and find some money to back you. But anyone could do it. Sure. Why not? Who next? You only trade longs, right? Why not shorting? No, that's not true at all. Not true at all. But it's true right now. So the reason is I used to short aggressively. In fact, I was very aggressively short the 2017, 2018 top. And I've shorted a few times. There's a few reasons. Okay. One is that once I became like passionately a believer in Bitcoin as an asset, I just don't want to short it. Right. I just don't want to short it. So like, and that's an admission of my own like emotional attachment or bias or whatever. Right. I don't want to short an asset that I like massively am long and believe in. So I would maybe short like here and there as a hedge against my long position, but I'm always massively long Bitcoin spot. Right. Also, shorting, like you learn with time, there's nothing wrong with it, but it requires impeccable timing. Shorting is always against the macro trend. You might be on trend for like a month, 6 months, a year, but like markets only go up. So you're always shorting against the market. Leverage aside, your maximum gain from shorting is 100%, right? You can only go to zero, can't go past it. And to the upside is exponential. So I'd much rather be long, especially knowing that I'm going to be with the macro trend in general. But if you were with me or following the newsletter in like February, March, April of 2020, we were shorting the hell out of stocks. Still, though, I was still long spot, right? Still buying stocks, but hedging against those losses with massive shorts. Yeah. You drink whiskey? Yes, I am an absolute whiskey aficionado. I love bourbons. I'll drink some scotch. Like Macallan 18 on the Scotch side, whiskey, on an occasion I drink Rip Van Winkle. Always loved Woodford Reserve. It's kind of my go-to. And like, you know, before I had money, I was like, my expensive whiskey was Maker's Mark. So I still drink like, which is not expensive, but I still drink, you know, my old fashions, Maker's Mark, things like that. I love whiskey. What's next? What do you think? Sorry, I got some ice in my mouth. One dude once told me he was never following me again because I had the audacity to chew ice into the mic, which is a bad habit that I have. What do you think about all these DeFi options protocols that promise 1000% APY? I think that no. I'm not saying they're scams or anything. I'm just saying like nobody can promise you 1000% APY. To have that much reward, there has to be risk. So if you understand and dig in and figure out what the risks of 1000% APY are and you're comfortable with it, have at it. But nobody can like offer you risk-free 1000% APY. So that's not, I would like be dismissive of personally. I would not even look at that or try. Just me. I would never even think about it. Yeah. I like this question. Does Nobu live up to the hype? Depends on the Nobu. Nobu in LA, yes. It depends on what you're comparing it to. I absolutely love Nobu, but that's Emmy and I go there a lot. I like it. We go in Miami at the Nobu Hotel, which is not the best Nobu. New York's Nobu is better. LA is better. Matsuhitsu, but they have a few dishes that are just incredible. The sushi is always amazing, but like you go and you find those few things you like, and then you go back for those. Like they have these little like sushi tacos. Oh my God, heaven on a plate. But Nobu is amazing. I love Nobu. I'm a big fan, but there are people who think it's like, you know, overplayed name brand sushi. I disagree. He says, see, here you go. Nobu does not live up to the hype. I don't know. Is there a lot of hype? I think it's a great restaurant. I don't think it's like, I wouldn't like be like, that's the restaurant I want to go to for my 100-year wedding anniversary or anything, because I'm going to be married 100 years. But Nobu's great. I like Nobu. Yeah. What's next? If someone's not familiar how to short, where can one learn? What's the best source? Couldn't tell you. And to be honest, why? Do you need to? Do you need to? Shorting is for professionals who are making a living by trading, in my opinion. Right? If you're just like casual about this, you're not going to be doing it full time. It's not going to be your living. Like you don't really need to learn to short because you're just like, how much money are you willing to lose before you're good at it? Because you're going to lose a shit ton of money learning to short. Do you want to do that right now? Or would you rather save the money you're going to inevitably lose and just buy Bitcoin with it? Rather buy Bitcoin. There's a Nobu in San Diego. Yeah, Nobu is a chain now. It was the chef Matsuhitsu. I think Matsuhitsu Nobu. Matsuhitsu Nobu, is that his name? Nobu Matsuhisa. That's his name. He's like a very famous celebrity chef, and he's the bomb. He's the bomb. But yeah, probably the same one. What's next? Scott, what is your outlook on Litecoin in the coming months? RSI looks promising. I mean, I just made a joke about it on Twitter like 5 minutes ago. Let me look. Get the chart pulled up. Mike, you can open the chart. Okay, let's see. RSI is getting oversold. I wouldn't say it looks promising yet. I mean, oversold is, there's no bullish divergence there. You have bullish divergence on the 6 hour. This looks on USD, no surprise, it looks like the Bitcoin chart, right? Oversold with bullish divergence. Should get a little pop, but below 140, I wouldn't be in it unless you're just trading it to 140. Kind of like I just sold a bunch of my Bitcoin long at 42K because that's resistance. But on the Litecoin Bitcoin pair, let me find I literally just tweeted this. So it's kind of, word that is here, right? I said, have you ever watched a video of someone dangling their toes over the edge of a cliff or at the top of a high building and gotten vertigo and been like, what the fuck is wrong with that dude? Here's that, but in a chart. And I showed this Litecoin chart, right? Just dangling. That's the all-time low on Binance, right? And then I just posted this. It got lower, right? Getting a little lower there. Tell you where, and then I posted this. There's your love, Litecoin, just dangling right over the cliff. Maybe it's going to go well. Maybe it's going to go great for you. Very well could. Maybe not, though. But yeah, dangling over the edge here. So I don't know. I look at it versus Bitcoin. Like, would I rather be in Litecoin or Bitcoin right now? If it bottoms, I'd probably rather be in Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't know. That's that. All right, next. What do you think about Ocean Protocol? Cool project. Not something I like. I know you guys ask me about these projects over and over again. I'm like indifferent to 99% of them. I'm sure they're great. They're just not a rabbit hole I've gone deeply down. And how many can you be passionate about? A lot of people that I respect are bullish on Ocean Protocol. I can give you that answer, but I have no particular feeling on it. And most of these questions of like, well, what do you think of this project? I don't. It's reality. I'll look at the chart. You know, we can look at the chart. I don't know. Probably wrecked. Take a look at the inevitably wrecked Ocean chart. Yeah, it's wrecked. Ocean BTC losing all kinds of support here. 50 and the 200 MA on the daily, although you would say you have some support right here. On the USDT pair, definitely losing support. That trade basically played out. Had this bull flag. You got up to here instead of here. I consider that good. And now struggling. Here's your support. Call that the like 42K kind of thing, you know, like through here. Next levels will be, so that's like 71 cents. Next level is like 58 cents. That's my opinion with the chart, if that's what we're talking about. Well, I wasn't here to do chart requests necessarily. How do you short crypto in the USA? You can do it on Kraken quite legally. 5x leverage, I believe, is the max there. Or you can find another way that people wouldn't discuss on a live stream. BitGet, you can do it. You can do it on BitGet. Yeah, that's how. Next. Can you show a simple explanation of clear confirmation? Also, as the process for trading dojis. You mentioned once and it stuck to my brain. Clear confirmation would have to be what? Like of a divergence? Let me see what we got here. Hold up. What happened here? How did my... that's some other shit. For me, confirmation is when you get that clear elbow up. Like you had a confirmation here and you got a pop. Like if RSI is still pointing down, like let's look at the daily maybe. It's in play. Let's see. 12 hour. Let's see. Is that a lower low in price or not? Slightly. Okay. So you have a slight lower low in price and you have a slight potential higher high in price, higher low in RSI. This is not confirmation. You need to see like an elbow like this, right? You need to see a clear move up in RSI, not that this could just drip down. Like, see, a price just popped up a little. Clear elbow up in RSI, to me, that is confirmation. People trade these different ways. People have a million ways. If you're talking about support and resistance, the clear confirmation is a break and close above or below that line. What's the other one? What is the point of trading, process of trading dojis? You mentioned once and it stuck to my brain. A doji, it depends, but like in theory, a doji just shows you there's a pause in the action and indecision, right? You have like a plus sign as your candle. So there was a little wick up or a long wick up or down, and price opened and closed the period at the same price, right? Shows that everyone tried, nobody succeeded during that period. So it basically shows you that there's a pause in the market. If you're in the way down and you have a long wick at the bottom of the doji, it means that bulls stepped in and pushed price back up. So depending on the shape of the doji, you're looking for confirmation on the next candle, right? So if you have a long wick down, confirmation would be a bullish candle, a markedly bullish candle on the next candle that would show that that indeed was a reversal signal. And now you have confirmation. That makes sense. That makes sense. I like this question. Scott, investing versus trading, who wins? Always investors. Over the long term, investors. Put it this way. Who's historically, if you had to guess, who has made the most money in markets? It's people who simply put their money away, wait a really long time, and have never looked at a chart or thought about a trade in their entire lives, obviously. So, and then the counter argument is always, what about hedge fund managers, bro? They're traders and they are super rich. The reason hedge fund managers make money is because they manage money, right? If you're making 2 and 20 on the money given to you, you can suck and still make 2% of the money that's invested. So if you got $1 billion fund, you can make 20 million bucks, even if you're flat on the year, right? So that's not from pure trading. There are people who slay, but generally investors. And that's why even the most aggressive traders who I know who are wise have an investment portfolio that's largely outsizes their trading portfolio. Dead people's accounts make the most money. That's absolutely correct. That was proven. Mark Yusko shared that to me with Vanguard. Absolutely astounding. Yeah. Let's go. What percentage of your portfolio should be staked versus cold storage? That's totally up to you and the platform you use and your comfortability level. I would say that over time, if you had asked me that question in 2018, I would have said 100% in cold storage. 2019, 90% in cold storage. 2020, 80% in cold storage. 2021, 30 or 40% in cold storage. I know I'm violating the Maxi code, but the reality is that the security on these exchanges and platforms has become exponentially better than it was when you had to manage your own coins. And when you get to a certain amount of wealth, it's really fucking stressful to be your own bank. Not everybody's going to agree with that. People might think I'm nuts, but that's what I think. But then you have to be staking or putting your money on a platform that you trust. If it's some random DeFi protocol, I'd say very little of your money. If it's, I have a lot of mine on like Voyager. I know Steve, the CEO of E-Trade. I trust their platform. I know that they're not aggressively trading my money. There's no prop desk. Like, I'm not shitting on BlockFi at all, but like BlockFi is trading to make your yield, right? And they were largely trading GBTC, which had a premium and went negative, and their yields disappeared. Voyager is primarily lending. And if you do solid background on the people you're lending to, it's relatively low risk. Securities lending has been a business for forever. Reality is most of these yields are coming from platforms lending USDC to people who want to short, right? As long as that exists, you should be good. But it's just a matter of what platform you trust and how much you're willing to do. But I think that, I think you can now, what's your answer? I don't know. I don't use it, but like, would you rather your money be in cold storage or in Coinbase custody, which is insured? I don't know. I would consider Coinbase custody. I would absolutely consider it. So like, the reality is it's not the same word. It's not the same world, and it's not the same meme that it used to be. I'm getting 10.5% on Voyager doing jack fuck all, right? Like there were months in the past on Voyager where I made more money like in a month on yield than I made in a year working as a DJ. So yeah, I trust them. I have my money there. Next. I like Licensed to Ill. I'm not one of those people who has to be like extra favorite Beastie Boy album for those who didn't hear. I'm not one of those dudes who's like, you know what? Like Paul's Boutique was like such a masterpiece and it was underrated and I'm mad because people don't get it. Paul's Boutique's fine. Licensed to Ill is a better album and I don't have to be the cool guy who says that Paul's Boutique is better. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. Next, what possible new narratives could bring another few trillion into the markets? Nobody wants to hear this either. You know what's going to bring a few trillion into the market? Reasonable regulation. Boring, right? If the regulators came out and said there's a valid reason to call some of these things not securities, but your Bitcoin is safe, we can offer insurance on it, your bank can custody it, your bank can loan against it. Legacy financial institutions accepting it and it being regulated probably brings the next wall of money. Or a Bitcoin spot ETF. Bitcoin spot ETF. What's that? Yeah. But listen, there's a lot of narratives. Like if inflation continues to run wild, even when they try, oh my God. It'll go bananas. It'll go bananas. Yeah. Next. Why does Cake have such a low profile when you can reliably APY over 60%? I have no idea. So low profile that I didn't even know that shit. I mean, I'm sure cake is great, but you cannot reliably APY over 60% anywhere. There's some hidden risk there. They're not getting 60% without putting your money at risk in some way, shape, or form. It cannot happen, right? Higher the APY, higher the risk. It's a fact. I have nothing against that platform. I don't know anything about it. It could be extremely reliable, but there has to be something going on with your money that's risky to earn 60% APY. What's next? Next. All right, maybe I'll find. Do you think Grayscale will tank UMA and Bancor and inversely pump AMP by dropping and adding to their DeFi fund over? Oh, that one's above my head. Tank UMA and Bancor and inversely pump. I don't know. Two over my head. Downside to staking. I don't really stake that much, guys. I eat steak. Unless you consider being in like these CeFi platforms where I can just park USDC and make a ton of money. I don't stake that much. I mean, I have eGold. I'm on the MyR app and I stake there because I'm just holding my eGold, but I don't really have a favorite staking platform. Here's the problem for me, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. 45 years old. I have crypto all over the goddamn place because I've tried everything. And if something happens to me and something goes wrong, all this money I have staked on this platform and here and there, and nobody's ever fucking finding it. Ever. Right? Nobody talks about this, but like, come on, man. Like you think that my parents, if they find our money, are going to be like, oh, I got to get into Aave and Compound and find where Scott is. No, that shit's gone. Vapor. I'm not 20 years old. Like, I have people that rely on me, and if something happens to me, they're going to get the money. So it's just kind of outside of my risk curve for that reason. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to hear that shit. Here's what it is. What's next? How do exchanges earn staking rewards for their users? Do they trade? Well, they lend or they trade. Generally. Now, like, listen, BitMEX notoriously used to literally counter trade your orders. Like, BitMEX like had a trading desk and was like, oh, where are the stop losses all piled? That'd be a good place for us to go long as a platform. But largely, they're either lending or they're participating, in some sort of lending protocol, or that's basically the only way. I don't know specifically how any specific exchange earns yield, but most of them are lending to people who want to short, generally. Few more questions. Why was Matrix 4 so bad? Because they tried to remake 3 Matrix movies with older actors without ever advancing the plot. I mean, it's like making a new Indiana Jones movie where you're like, what jokes hit hard in the first Indiana Jones? Let's do those, but with a super old dude. Nobody wants to see that shit. Like, did you see how bad Jada Pinkett Smith's makeup was? I was like, that's literally just Jada Pinkett Smith in like an old lady outfit. Pitiful effort. Trash. What's next? Like, you didn't need a 4th Matrix unless you're going to change the world with it. What are 2 or 3 cryptos in top 10 by market cap that shouldn't be there? Name your dog coin. What's the market cap right now of SHIB and Doge? Well, they've fallen out of it. Doge is 12 and Shiba is 13. So those obviously shouldn't be there because they have no real utility. XRP should be gone from the top 10. Not because of anything against XRP, but I would say that like XRP, to their credit, like they were extremely early in identifying that we needed faster cross-border payments. The problem is stable coins do that without volatility just as fast now. XRP is lightning fast. So I would say, and they're also still getting sued by the SEC. So maybe them. I don't even want to say it. I get fucking shit on. XRP and ADA should be out of the top 10. Replaced by AVAX and Polygon. Yeah, that's what I would say. Cardano and XRP should not be in the top 10. My DJ mixes, there's a bunch of them buried right here on this very YouTube channel. But you could also go to soundcloud.com/Scott Melker, but 90% of it got taken down in copyright issues. So there's still some stuff around that. I don't want to shit on ADA, man. I don't want to shit on ADA. Sorry, Mike. I preempted your click there. Go ahead. I doubt you have a lot of time for TV, but have you watched any good shows, movies lately? Au contraire, mon frere. I watch some TV at night. Okay, I should say that I like sleep through TV while Emmy watches TV at night. But I do watch. I don't even remember shows. Ozark's coming back next week. That show's fucking awesome. I read all 14 or 15 Wheel of Time books, so I really enjoyed Wheel of Time on Amazon. I'm not sure if that's a hot take. People didn't like it very much. If they didn't, Rotten Tomatoes gave it good ratings, and so did the critics. I really like that. I thought Don't Look Up was just horrible. I was like, wow, what a wasted effort of star power. Like, just let's get as many stars as we can and make a really stupid movie with a terrible script. That's what I thought about that. The show inspired me to read. There you go. See, I've read. I read it years ago when my daughter was born. So I was reading the books, and then like when you first have a kid, like you want to let the mom sleep. So like I would get up with the baby. I still am the morning guy. I would get up with the baby and I would like leave the house and I would throw the audiobook and take her for a long walk like around our island in Miami. So that's how I got through them all. Yeah. So yeah. What's next? What's the absolute bottom for Bitcoin and Ether? 20 and 1K? Don't want to get liquefied. Nobody wants to get liquefied. Then your body turns into liquid. You're dead. Kind of like Ebola, but like really extreme. I think you mean liquidated. Don't want to get liquidated. Throw me in the blender and liquefy me, bro. Sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. I've just never heard somebody say they were going to get liquefied. I know you didn't mean it. I don't know. We could have just hit the absolute bottom. What do I know? I have no idea. The answer is I have no idea. But if we get to either of those prices, I will be mortgaging my children to get in heavily. Next. I think Engine's really cool, and I think it's a very powerful play-to-earn gaming metaverse coin with real world use cases and great partnerships. Okay, guys, I got like one or two more in me. Yeah, wait, 1 second. Bitcoin dominance about to just rip. Michael, I've been talking about this, right? I mean, I did a whole thread on it again and whatever, man. Well, I don't know. Don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. But look, I've been saying this for weeks, guys. Maybe Bitcoin dominance is going to go like down back to historical lows. It's certainly possible. Certainly possible. But like we've had these little like alt pumps every time it drops. But like, look here, forget even this line. By the way, charting this is a bit of a meme. It just gives you an idea. But like, just swept the lows on Bitcoin dominance, and 3 times we've been here, and then it pumps and wrecks alts. I just did a thread on this. Like, forget even Bitcoin dominance. What are your likely scenarios for altcoins from this level, from where price is? Bitcoin sitting right around 42K, looking shaky as shit. Bitcoin rips up, the one we all want. What happens to altcoins? They do okay on USD, but they get destroyed by Bitcoin. Everyone rushes into Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance rises. Bad for alts if you care about the Bitcoin value of your portfolio. If Bitcoin now dumps from here, alts will lose Bitcoin value and USD value. Bad. They get shit on. Okay, so let's call that 66% chance that this scenario is negative for alts. And what's the good scenario for alts? Either a slow rise in Bitcoin once it's at a level of confidence, or sideways. But the caveat is not just any sideways. Sideways at the bottom is shitty. You need Bitcoin to go up, be in a bull run, then consolidate, let alts run because there's confidence in the market, and then Bitcoin goes up again. We're at the bottom of a move. So even sideways hasn't been great for alts. You have these like 10 alts at a time pop off and the rest are kind of shitty. So I think Bitcoin dominance goes up here and shit is kind of rough for alts for a while. And that does not mean you get out of them. This is a trader's thing. If you're investing in these long term, maybe you want them to go down so you can buy more cheap. It's all about your perspective. All about your perspective. Yeah, not great. Okay, one more question or two more, and then I gotta go. What do you got, Mike? When do you think Litecoin will overtake Bitcoin by market cap? Somewhere, I would say the odds of that are between slim and none, and slim just got shot in the face. Never happened. Next. One more. What's the absolute ETH bottom? Guys, I have the same dude. You just asked the same question. I don't know. Where did it start? A few cents? Do you know of any porn industry related coin? Let me check my deep lexicon of porn related knowledge. No, but I know that you used to be able to use XVG to pay on Pornhub. All right, any more? Are we done here? Hit me with one more. Did you ever journal when trading? If so, any tips for efficient way to do it properly? Yes, I always journaled when trading. Actually, I should rephrase that. When I sucked at trading, I didn't. When I was good at trading, I always journaled. Always journaled. In fact, let me look. I did this for years publicly. Mostly because the people were like, said I didn't trade, because that's what people love to say, things like that, even though I share literally everything I do publicly. But on Cointelegraph, we had proposed them the idea of me, this is a little while ago. Well, I don't know what I just did. To share my trades. So I was a writer for Cointelegraph this years ago, 2019. Here you go, look. Every single week, I shared all of my trades and walked through them and basically journaled them live. See? My entries, exits, my thought process, how it worked out, the idea, losses and gains. Publicly. So you can just search Cointelegraph, Scott Melker, and they're all back there. But yeah, I think you need to, basically what you want to do with a journal is describe your feeling and thought process at every point throughout the process so that you can go back and revisit where you made your mistake. Right? It's exactly what you want to do. I mean, there's like so many of these in here. Bitcoin price diary, long from 70. I mean, look at how long I was doing this. Amazing. It's 7.3K. So look, setting up the trade, entries, targets. Here's the stop loss and why I set it. Risk reward of each. Entry idea. See? I wrote up the entire trade in the journal entry. Yes, I journaled my ass off. You can see I had the same kind of ideas. Right? How it worked out, setting up a new trade. It's all there if you want to go through how I used to do it. I just stopped doing it because it wasn't worth my time, to be quite frank. Right? So, yeah, it's all there. Scott, what a Bitcoin max. He's hate you. Cool. Don't know what that means. Anyways, yeah, there you go. Guys, I'm done. Once again, check out WhaleFin. Check out WhaleFin. Click it right down below. Do me a favor. But guys, it's awesome. Awesome. Definitely worth checking out. You can do everything there. You can do it all there. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow at 9:30. What time do we do? 10 a.m. I used to do 9:30. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for my next stream. Until then, my friends, stay thirsty. Peace.